away Gandhi from him. The one whom he used to respect so much, but his emotions were taking the Gandhi away from him. That is the understanding of this verse. So when you see the external things, doesn't mean that the same are inside. You may be, Arjun was looking like a Kshatriya, but from internally he was very disheartened. Why? Because he was only connecting himself with the material concept of life. Does it make sense? Randhir, did you get your answer with the Gandhiva perspective?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we
There's
do not
also
have to, yeah.
there's also an emotional aspect too, sir. I mean, it's like when we talk about the material aspect,
Mhm.
it's yes, there is the possession aspect of it, but even the emotional aspect that he's going through,
Mhm.
isn't that the material part of it too?
Yes, because he's attached to, he's connected with the material concept of life. That is why the emotions are being heavy on him. And that is what Krishna will give him knowledge for. So he's only connected to Pratyaksha. So to answer your question, Kalpesh, we cannot be only relying on Pratyaksha. We have to connect this Pratyaksha with the scriptures. Whom and how we should be helping, whom and how we should be connecting, it has to be understood by us very clearly. What is my purpose? Of course, helping, whomever is my, sub in my association, helping them, doing whatever we can for them is apacharikata. But is that the only goal of life? Or is there something which I have to do for my own self as a paradharma? And is this what I'm doing in apacharikata or namittika helping me in my paradharma? If yes, then it's the best thing you should do. You should go ahead and do it. But if it is not helping, just do it as your duty and finish it off and go on with the things which will help you for your paradharma. Is it making sense or is it too deep? Okay, so I wanted to do 1.30 also, but we'll do that next time. So we'll start 1.30. So if we'll try to do at least 5 verses next time, we'll touch 1.35, and hopefully in this month, February, next week or first week of March, we should finish the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. March, I want to start chapter 2.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, so any questions or comments? What we
Prabhuji,
discussed
in
today.
this Kali Yuga, right, it is going
Yeah.
to take a lot of time to understand yourself. तब तक थोड़ी ना हम हाथ के ऊपर हाथ बैठ के बैठे रहे. If someone needs some help, and with the limited knowledge that you have at the moment, you apply that knowledge and you help that person.
Yeah. So how are we helping that person is very important. Are we only helping the material needs of the person, or are we also helping him spiritually? That was my point. If you understand what I was trying to say before.
Okay. Got it.
So if you see how Krishna is helping Arjun, he is not helping him any which ways with the war. Is he? He's not going to fight. Is he going to fight for him? What was the deal of Krishna being with Arjun? That he will not fight. He has to fight. Arjun has to fight. Yes, agreed, not agreed. Everyone with me?
Yes, agree.
Yes.
Yes. So Arjun has to fight. So we have to learn how to help. We have to learn how to help from Krishna. But first, we need help from Krishna. So unless we understand that who we are, what we are, how can we help others? Of course, you can give some money sometimes. You can do this at some charity sometimes. Someone is poor, he doesn't have something to eat, you give something to eat. Like, my aspiring guru always tells us, that you should always carry some prasad with you wherever you go. So if there is some beggar you see or someone you see, don't give him money, just give him prasad so that he's fed. You know, I mean, if you have an extra cloth with you, if you see someone not having a cloth, give that cloth to him. That's fine. That is help, material. But what can you do beyond that?
But Prabhuji,
Beyond that, if you want to help someone, is only when you understand your goals of life, your spiritual path. Only then you can help someone.
it's like that
Otherwise, you
thing that
both
you
will
say.
be. Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Sorry,
Continue.
you say that about airplane. Wear a mask
Yes.
first.
Yes. Yeah. So we have to wear the mask first on ourselves, right? So that we know we are alive. Only then we can help others. But the problem is that we are short of knowledge at the moment. We have to understand Bhagavad Gita. When we understand Bhagavad Gita properly, then we can help someone. The only thing which you can share with someone at the moment is that please have a spiritual goal instead of just having a material goal or a material purpose. So just do not only perform aparadharma throughout your life. I speak to many old people, what do you want to do at the end of the life? Say, we just want to stay near our kids. For what? They don't need you, do they? What help can you give to your kids? Nothing. But no, we just want to be with them. That is apacharikata. You're hooked on to apacharikata. There's no personal spiritual goal. Yeah, you stay near your kids, that's fine. But do you have a spiritual goal? No, we don't. All we want to do is stay near our relatives and die with our relatives so that we come back again and stay with the same relatives, the same group of friends. So, what is you have done different to an animal? There's a very nice story of Indra. I will share with you later. So, I'll just give you a brief. So, Indra was given a curse to go and live in the Mrityulok on the earth. He was given, so I mean, it so happened that was given a body of a pig. You know, a pig. He was living like a pig. And when the time came in, he was so accustomed to that material life which he was living that Narad Muni came in to take him back to the heaven. He said, Indra, let's go up. He said, no, I don't want to go. He said, why? He said, I have my wife and kids here as pigs. So material life is such. Every living entity is happy in their own community, in their opacharikata. Yeah. So he said that I have such a lovely wife, with nice 10, 15 kids who are little piglets. This is all in Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't want to go back. So, are we different from any other living entity? You have to ask a question. Do you really want to have a spiritual goal or just want to be this, what we are doing? Keep on doing this. Come back again as a different living entity, again have, you know, become a duck or a ducklings and become another animal and then have that, another human being and have that. Keep on doing this over and over. Or you want to have some real spiritual goal so that this cycle is broken and we really achieve some spiritual advancement. We can reach the supreme if it is possible. You know, why shouldn't we try that? Krishna will explain further to Arjun that what should be the spiritual goal of a person apart from just having the material concept of life. Okay, so we'll end
But
our
Prabhuji,
discussion here. Yes, yes.
sorry, going back to the spiritual goals,
Yeah, yeah.
is some people have a very defined aspect of it.
Mhm,
But for some people, if
mhm,
you're trying to learn
mhm,
about, what is the spiritual goal,
mhm.
is is that relevant? I mean, it's like, it's like me. I'll be the first one to say that there are a lot of things which are not clear to me at this point of time, right? So if that isn't the case, I can't turn around and say, oh well, it's my goal to be, one with the Lord. I mean, I can't say that. It doesn't
Sure,
make any sense,
sure.
right? But the thing is, if you're trying to learn, does that where does that figure?
Okay. So, if I understand your question, there are people who know their path and they're on that. And there are people who don't know their path, don't know their goal, but they have a feeling that it is good. This thing is good. Does it make sense? Is it
Yes,
correct
sir.
question? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So the people who feel that yes, that I should be doing something like this, I should be taking up some path for my spiritual journey to do my paradharma. So that desire takes them forward. That desire to actually do something with your spiritual progress. So the first statement in any shastra, if you see, if you any of the spiritual text, you see, is Brahma Jigyasa, the curiosity to know what is my spiritual path and goal.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that curiosity is the first thing. So the scriptures start with this Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Atato means that's why. So to answer your question, that one statement is enough. That is why you need Jigyasa, curiosity.
Okay.
So if you have the curiosity, you are on the right path.
Okay.
You'll find your way.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else? Yes, Rishi.
Prabhuji, just on that point which you were saying around the spiritual breaking the cycle of life and death and that example you used,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just had a thought on that. I don't know. I mean, if we think about it, um, by law of averages also, if say every year 1% of living entities are aspiring and getting moksha, whatever, and if we don't and we come back, are we not coming back to a more degraded world, material world in a way?
Well, if you see that the consciousness is definitely degraded over a period of time. I mean, I'm not going hundreds of years back. Just when the time when I was in childhood, I have seen how people were behaving around and how are they behaving now. Now I'm I'm from India, so I have seen in India in those times in the 80s and everything. I've seen everyone behaving well, even when they're eating out or they are going around outside. They used to behave well, but it's not the case now. I mean, just with the outer behavior, everything has changed. So has the consciousness, which has changed. So if you see now, we talk about all these biodegradable products, making the earth very nice and things like that. We have been using this right in our childhood. I never remember that we had any kind of paper or anything of that sort. We used to use all those leaves, which are with all made up of those. We used to eat out on the street. We used to get all those leaves kind of a thing, to eat on them. Not that old, just 40 years ago. 40 40 around 40 years ago we should have that, but now It's completely changed to something else. So of course the world, materially as well as spiritually, there is degrade. Absolutely, you're right. So the idea is that as soon as we
Possible.
understand there is curiosity, just start with your spiritual journey wherever you can and try to understand.
Yep.
So yes, sooner than later. Absolutely, you're right.
Prabhuji, just interjecting and just going back to his question,
Yeah.
I was, I don't drive, I take the bus, right? I mean, I have a medical condition.
Mhm,
And I just come to Canada, and they were one of these, Jehovah's Witnesses.
mhm,
So this lady comes up to me and says, "Excuse me," and I'm going, "Okay." She's saying, "Are you Hindi?" And
mhm,
I'm going, "Okay." I was going to tell her that it's a language, right? So,
mhm,
anyways, I said, "It's okay." Yeah, I said, "Yeah, I am Hindi." Anyways, so she's standing there and she's saying, "Are you ready to accept Christ our Lord into your heart as your Savior?"
mhm,
And I was going to say to her is, well, not today while I'm waiting for my bus. But
yeah.
uh, so then she goes, I said, no. I said, ma'am, at this point of time, I can talk about it a bit later. But she's saying, so you won't. So she's saying is, you are heathen and this and that, and you're going to burn in the fires of this.
Mhm,
So I said, this time, mera dimag se atak gaya. Now, I'd read a bit about Jehovah's Witnesses, and it
mhm,
seems that there are around 179,000 souls for them to go back into their version of heaven. So मैंने उन लोग को बुलाया. I think I used Rishi's aspect of it, and I said, "Is do you believe you have a wonderful culture? I mean, there's wonderful aspects, right?" I said, "And you believe in the concept of an individual soul. I mean, it's not right." I said, okay. And I said, as Hindus, we believe in reincarnation until we reach a certain destination. I said, but you guys don't believe in that. So you have an individual soul aspect. I said, your generation, your religion, it's been growing and it's been around 150 years or so. Saying yes. Said, must be a million and a half, 5 million people. Said, yes. I said, isn't that 5 million more than 179,000? She's saying, yes. I said, there's no space for you guys. What are you talking about? मेरे को छोड़ो.
So individual soul is the same concept we have as well. So
Right,
even when we identify ourselves as, even Krishna will explain. So everyone is an individual soul.
right, sir.
So we are individual souls. That is our identity. Krishna will also speak about the same thing. But yeah, I mean, it's not about belief, or it's not about an understanding. What Srila Prabhupada or Bhagavad Gita, what we are reading, speaking about, it's about realization. So do not believe just on what is written, but try to practice and try to realize. The only way you will be able to progress in spirituality is by realization.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will be very hard because the belief can break anytime. Today you may believe something, tomorrow you may believe something else.
Mhm.
So do not place your paradharma on belief system. I would say put your money on realization.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yes, sir.
By realization, I mean experiential.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Experiential.
Yep.
Yep.
Find
So there is
find
jnana
the happiness within.
and there is vijnana. So when you read, there is jnana, there is knowledge. So what we are doing at the moment is reading. But when you practice spiritual, when you have some spiritual practice, which we will discuss eventually. So when you have the spiritual practice, that is vijnana. So you're practically doing something. And based on that, you realize something. If you realize, then you progress further with the spiritual practice. Otherwise, you have to really analyze your spiritual practice. Am I doing it correctly, or is it the right practice? So that again goes back to Randhir's question that you don't know the direction, you don't know the goal, but you'll come to know only when you'll practice.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And if you don't come to know, then you have to really ask yourself, is it the right process I'm following, or is there a tweaking required? What is that which will help me realize?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
No, sir.
So I presume there are only 1, 2, 3, 4 videos working today. Other videos are not working. That's all right. No
It's a
problem.
gypsy thing. I can see everybody has enabled their videos.
All right. Now I can see Karan. Now I can see Jay. So others we will see next time. No problem.
Karan is a new father, so he needs to take nap in between.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
Congratulations.
That's all
Thank you.
right. Yeah, he's having fun with the little one, I believe.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Okay. If no one has any other questions or comments, we'll end our discussion here. See you next week on Sunday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hey, Krishna.